September 22nd, 2020, and this is the London Review. Hi guys, this is Robert Rivera with the Rivera Trading Group in association with Trend Trading Academy. And this is the time of the day when I review the trades from last night. There were two trades, but there was only one that I sent out, which was GBP USD. As you know, I've been on that GBP USD for a while now. I got the rhythm of it going, and it's got good momentum currently right now with a lot of the news events that have been happening. And so let's get right into it. All right, let's make this short. All right, guys, so this is the setup as we had it last night. As you notice, as I zoom in, we're looking at a downward trend that is creating a bearish pennant. Similar bearish pennant that we had a couple days ago, and we just drew a trend line right on it and put the line of support where price had been holding there for a little bit. This is the 1 hour chart, so that's several hours after the open of the day. And you can notice how price has not been able to break above that point right there. All right, so we are anticipating a reversal of the upward trend right now, a break of the trend line and a break of support. And on the 15-minute chart, by the way, the 50-minute simple moving average is right on that yellow line. So we're expecting something to happen here real quick, and sure enough, it did happen. Let's go to it. So these are the results from last night. As you can tell, as I pointed out before, that pattern is the same one that we see just above, right there. That was the one from 2 days ago, actually from yesterday. And as it dropped, it created another one right there in the middle. If you notice that retracement of green candles right there in the middle before it broke down again. That was still in the middle of the movement last night. And last night we were wondering if that was going to continue, right? We did notice that on the higher time frame, on the daily time frame, it was reaching a critical level of support, but it did break down to the bottom, and as it broke to the bottom right there, I took that initial sell. That turned out all right, and then on the 3 a.m. candle, as the 3 a.m. candle was occurring, which is that big candle that has the 97 pips on it, that big candle, was the 3 a.m. candle, first started moving up. When it started moving up, I went ahead and took a position because, again, the 3 a.m. candle usually goes in the opposite direction of the 2 a.m. candle. So I took a position to the upside in case it was going to continue. Unfortunately for me, it reversed. I was up something like $70 positive as it was happening, but I was waiting for the continuation. It didn't. As it didn't continue, I went ahead and closed it and took a sell position as it was dropping, and it dropped like crazy. Soon after, on the 4 a.m. candle, it did go all the way back up. It just tested basically the upper zone, but it did not close above it, and in fact, it dropped again for another 30 pips. Then it finally did break to the top side for 45 pips, and then it rejected again, coming down with a nice little retest right there on the second large candle, second to the last large red candle, before it dropped for another 98 pips. A lot of opportunities on GBP USD last night and this morning, which is something else that I've encouraged my students, stay with the setup. And again, this is a skeleton setup. Those of you who are my students, you know how we give you instructions and set this up real nicely so it cannot be missed. We did have a student last night that incurred a loss, and I'm still trying to figure out how it was that he lost on that 97 pip drop. I mean, that was a straight drop. Obviously, he entered really late, which is not what we recommend. We always recommend entry at the zone, which is the best risk reward. And if you don't happen to catch it at the zone, you just let it go. There's nothing to be done after that. But anyway, I just wanted to point out that we did have the flag just like we did before. Is a very easy setup. Okay, this is one of my favorites. That pennant setup right there happens with great frequency when you have momentum on a pair. When the pair is trending, you're going to see those kinds of setups over and over and over, and they're pretty easy to catch. Okay, if you need help learning how to do that, hit me up, send me a personal message, and I will help you out. These are the results from last night. As I mentioned, I took a sell position as it was breaking down. I actually took two small positions as it was breaking down. When the market is moving early, prior to London, I've taken the position that if it's going with momentum, I'm going to take it, but I'm going to take smaller lot sizes as I am waiting for the momentum to come in from the London. And so with the volume from the London, that's what I mean. So I took those two small positions, which was actually really easy wins. And then on a 3 a.m. candle, as I mentioned, I was expecting it to go in the opposite direction. And it did briefly for about $70 or so on that, on my regular lot size. But then it broke down. As it was continuing going down, I went ahead and closed it. And I waited for just a minute to see what it was going to do. And sure enough, when I saw the continuation to the downside as it was breaking down below the zone for the retest, it was actually a retest that had happened, and it was now breaking down. I went ahead and took my position going down, and those are the results. Actually, it was very easy. Even though there's that loss there, it was actually a very easy night. It dropped, it dropped, it dropped, it dropped, it dropped. And then once it reached the 200 moving average on the daily, it bounced from there really hard and it came all the way up. As it turns out, that bounce did not hold. It is back down below it, and it looks like it may be breaking the 200. So it may be a very nice setup for tonight. We will see where it ends up, and perhaps we'll have another London review tomorrow. Although it's probably tomorrow, probably going to be card chats. All right. Welcome back. When the market is trending, it is very easy to catch the continuation when we mark up the flag patterns. The retracement on a trending market creates a flag pattern or a pennant pattern. Always, because as it is trending, right, it's going up, then it retraces just a little bit, creates that flag. When that flag breaks, it continues up. Then it creates another flag right up there. When that flag breaks, it continues up. Same thing to the downside, which is what we've seen now with GBP USD for the last several days. As it has been dropping, it creates that bearish flag pattern or pennant pattern. You throw a trend line on that and you just wait for the break. If momentum is on your side, it's an easy entry, and then, you know, depending on your level of experience, you can take as many pips as you want. I mean, that's 98 pips on the initial drop. That was actually very steady. It just kept going down, kept going down, kept going down. The bounce from the 200 obviously should have been expected on the daily, but now it looks like it's going to break again. It's pressing against it right now. If it finds support there on the 200 on the daily, then we are looking at a strong bounce to the upside. However, if it hovers there and it stays there and it keeps pressing against it, by tonight it could be another massive drop, and that will be a very big one, because again, to break the 200 on the daily is not a small thing. Okay, this is Robert Rivera once again with the Rivera Trading Group in association with Trend Trading Academy, and I hope that you're enjoying the content that you're receiving, and if so, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.